Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, this is Susan from BuzzSumo. I'm really glad that you have logged in to find out more about how to use the Facebook Analyzer. We're going to get started in just about 3 minutes, but I thought since we have a few people who are logged on now, that we would do a couple of things. One, I just want to make sure that you can hear me and see my screen. If you could let me know in the questions, that would be great. And I also just thought since we have a few minutes, I would go ahead and take any questions that you may have about the Facebook trend analysis now. Okay, great. Michael can see and hear. Excellent. Good. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please just type them into the question box and I will either be able to get an answer for you now or start with those questions as soon as the session ends. Like I said, we're going to start officially in about 2 minutes at 11. We had about 30 people who registered for this, so I want to give them a chance to get online. I'm just going to turn off the mic for a second and wait for people to log in. If you do have any questions, I'll jump back on with the mic, and if not, I'll talk to you in about 2 minutes. Okay, everyone, welcome again. I am glad to be talking with you today. My name is Susan Moeller. I'm the marketing manager here at BuzzSumo, and I'm going to be walking you through the different ways that you can use the Facebook Trend Analyzer. It's something that we've added to the tool recently, and we're really excited about it. And I wanted to go through some different use cases for it. We have a question already from Vermin who's asking, as a brand from Latin America, is there any way to narrow trends to accounts or pages of my country or language? Yes, I will definitely show you those as we go through. As a quick answer, though, I'll let you know that on the left-hand side of the Facebook Analyzer, we do offer several different filters. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, welcome. I appreciate you taking time to learn more about the Facebook Analyzer and particularly how to use the Trend Analyzer. If you are just logging on, I wanted to make sure that you know that I will be providing the slides after the session today. So if you want any of the screenshots, I will send those to you. I also will be taking questions at the end of the presentation. So if something jumps into your head while I'm talking and you would like to just go ahead and type in that question, that would be great. But I want to be sure that I stick to our 15-minute time frame. So let's go ahead and get started. The purpose of the Facebook Analyzer is to help you create the best content for Facebook. To do that, we think it's important to base your posting strategy on data. BuzzSumo's index includes 2 billion posts, and we add 2 million Facebook posts to our index every day. So there are two primary things that you want to do. The first is just to find out what types of posts work for your topic areas on Facebook, and the second is to find out what works for your competitors. So those are two high-level things that I want to explore with you today. The second is I want to point out some ways that you can use the Facebook Analyzer to identify opportunities around holidays and seasonal content, and also how to take advantage of earned brand mentions. So what you'll see here is the Facebook Analyzer. I wanted to just make sure that you knew where it was located when you log on to BuzzSumo, in the most shared section of the site, you can access the Facebook Analyzer under content research. When you first log in, you'll be prompted to choose whether or not to search by a keyword or search by a page. I've entered the keyword headphones here, and that's how I would recommend starting. When you think about keywords, you want to think about the keywords that you talk about in your Facebook posts. Now, once you have, let me go back one slide. Once you've entered that topic, BuzzSumo is going to provide a list for you of the Facebook posts that have gotten the highest number of interactions. You have a couple of options. You can use the drop down button to filter to see the types of posts that have gotten the most comments or that have gotten the most shares or the most likes. I also wanted to point out for Furman, who asked earlier, you do have the option to filter by language here. So if you select the language filter, you can enter in the language that you're most interested in, and BuzzSumo will filter the posts for you based on language. Now, after you have drawn your insights from this section of the site, I would recommend clicking over to the analysis part of the Facebook Analyzer, and that's where the Facebook Trends chart resides. It's in the analysis section of the site. So there are a couple of things that you'll want to notice here. First of all, the types of content that's performing well, how long those posts are, and the day and time that people are posting and getting a lot of interactions. What the trend chart adds is this look at the historical amount of posts about your topic, as well as average and total Facebook engagement. So what I want to call your attention to here is the topic headphones. There is one point, actually 2 points it looks like, where average engagement really exceeded the number of posts. I've highlighted January of 2017 because that's exactly a year ago. And if you were posting about headphones on Facebook, you might want to take a look right away at what performed well in January of 2017. You can do that very easily by clicking on the dot, and BuzzSumo will show you the posts that got that high level of average engagement. So you can see the posts themselves. It can be very helpful to identify the types of posts that were working and potentially driving that high number of average shares in January of 2017. Now, another thing that I wanted to call your attention to is at the top level of these reports. And like I said earlier, you can see that the most popular type of post, by that we mean the post that's gotten the highest level of engagement, is a video post. Those video posts, if you would like to know more about them, you can select video and the Facebook status type. So you just go over here, uncheck everything but video, and click Analyze. What BuzzSumo shows you then is the trend chart for just videos about your topic. So you can see here when there were peaks and valleys in engagement about videos, when there have been the highest or lowest levels of video posting. Now, one thing I would also like to point out to you is this little option to only show live videos. If you're like me, you hear a lot about how live videos are the way to go with Facebook. So we do offer a filter that you could use to see whether or not, number one, there are a lot of Facebook videos in your topic area, and number two, whether or not they're getting more interactions or less interactions than other videos. What I've done now is I've switched from the analysis view. Let me just go back so I can be clear what I've done. In this section, I was looking for posts about headphones, specifically video posts, and I wanted to do an analysis of those to see what was working. Now, I can also just go back to the results part of the Facebook Analyzer, and BuzzSumo will show me the actual videos that have gotten the highest levels of interactions. And I think that what jumped out at me when I looked at these results was just how very typically Facebook they are. Awkward headphones rock tributes. This guy screaming about awkward headphones. We have people kind of joking, it looks like, and we have a pet with headphones on. So I guess what jumped out to me is that regardless of your topic, Facebook is still Facebook. It's a social network, and people who are interacting here are interacting with entertaining content. So I thought it might be good to summarize for you a couple of things. When you begin to analyze topics and you're working with the Facebook Analyzer and the trend chart, here are the things that I would look for. Number one, the successful pages. So for your topic, what are the pages that are posting about your topic and getting a lot of interactions when they do post about your topic? For those things, you want to add them to an influencer list or possibly monitor them. You want to look for formats that are really working in this topic area, like video. If you discover that for your topic areas, video is working, try it. You want to take a look and notice the dates and times that there's high engagement with your topic area. I would suggest posting then to see how your audience responds. You need to look at tone. Remember when I said, okay, look at this, these are fun videos. Do you need to change anything in your tone? You also want to look at featured people. Is there someone who pops up over and over again and posts about your topic? You might want to add those to an influencer list or look for a similar type of person or customer advocate that you could use. And then also giveaways often jump out in these results. So you might want to take a look at the different types of giveaways that people are using. All right, now the second big way that you can use the Facebook Trend Analyzer is to develop competitor profiles. So I would suggest that this is a great way to take the next step with your Facebook insights. If you are an admin on a Facebook page, this is probably familiar to you. Underneath the posts that have performed best on any given time period, you'll also see the pages that Facebook thinks you should watch. So if you're not sure where to begin looking for competitor pages to analyze, this is a great place to begin. The pages that Facebook suggests that you watch could be added to your competitor list. Even if they're not really competitors for your topic, they may have some things that you can, or your product, they may have some things that you can learn from in terms of their Facebook strategy. One thing that Facebook does tell you is also their engagement for the week. So, it's nice. We had a great week here. We had more engagement than the pages that Facebook has suggested we keep an eye on. But if I wanted to find out what was working for them using Facebook Insights alone, I couldn't do it. There's no way I can click here and see what's working for TrackMaven. That's where BuzzSumo comes in. You can see that I've now taken that number one page that Facebook told me I should watch, scoop it, and I've entered it here into the Facebook Analyzer. So immediately I have a clear profile of the most successful content for this page in my content space. And I can see that for them, video is their most popular type of post. Their posts are slightly longer, 150 to 200 characters. And the best time for posts from this page is Monday at 3 p.m. UTC time. So I can then do a little bit more analysis. I can dig into that result that videos get the most interactions for them. They don't actually have that many videos, but the ones that they did were successful. I'm also noticing over here that Ian Cleary is one of the videos that they featured and that got a lot of interactions. Ian is someone that we have a great relationship with and have worked with as an influencer. I can also go back and take a look at any of the peaks in their Facebook posting and average interactions to see what was working for them then. And that can give me a good idea about a couple of things, the types of content that people are interacting with, the look and feel of their posts. I wanted to compile for you a couple of things to look for when you are analyzing different Facebook pages. The first is that look or feel. Is the page that you're analyzing heavily branded or lightly branded? You might also want to identify formats that work and give them a try. If I see that someone with a lot of Facebook engagement is getting a lot of engagement for a link post or for an image, then I might want to try to post more links or more images. I'm going to take a look at the tones that they're using and ask myself, do I need to change anything? I'm going to look for featured people like Ian Cleary and ask myself, is there someone that I can begin to interact with or maybe reach out to as an influencer for my page? And again, it's always a good idea to take a look at the types of giveaways that they're using and the engagement that they're getting for them. Now, the next thing I wanted to call your attention to is just the value of using holidays, seasons, and industry events as a topic in the Facebook Analyzer. This is one that really got my attention. My slide is a little bit messed up, but this is a search for Christmas. What did I discover? The highest average interactions for posts about Christmas are in August. Wow. So I just clicked on this little high point and I came back over here to see the types of posts that people are interacting with in August about Christmas. And one of the ones that kind of made me laugh was this one: only 4 months until Christmas Eve. Facebook's Christmas countdown. So definitely people who were jumping out early with their Christmas posts were getting the highest level of interactions. So that might be something to think about as you plan your holiday posting strategy for the year to come. I also wanted to suggest that if there's an industry event that you attend or that you write about, you might want to see the types of content that have gotten the highest level of engagement for that event. Here we have Content Marketing World, an event that I've attended. We have links, videos, and images. So I might want to factor that into my posting strategy for that industry event. Now, the last thing that I want to call your attention to is remember to monitor mentions of your brand on Facebook. This is a search for BuzzSumo, not as a page, but as a topic within Facebook. And here's what I find right away: these are the Facebook posts about BuzzSumo that have gotten the most interactions. I can quickly identify some influential pages. Mari Smith, Social Media Today, Social Media Today. Mari is featured here again. Olansky and Partners. There's also a ton of user generated content. That's how I would classify these earned mentions on Facebook. These are other people who are talking about us. And interestingly, we also have non English content. That's incredibly valuable to me because at BuzzSumo, we are only doing our marketing in English. So when I find that we have a post about us in another language, there are a couple things that I do. And I think I'm just going to take the remaining minute to show you what I call Susan's Facebook mention hack. When you discover that someone has mentioned you on Facebook, you have a couple of different options. Of course, you can just click on the share button and share that post right away. But I like to get a little bit of a higher value with that, particularly if it is a post that's not in English. So the first thing I do is I click on the timestamp that that Facebook post came online, and I copy the link address. The reason I'm doing that instead of sharing directly is because I want to have a little bit more control over when that post comes online. And I also want to target those posts to the audience that I'm trying to reach. So once I've copied that link, I can post it, I can paste it, paste it into a new post. You can see then that Facebook will populate the new post for me. And now I have a full range of options that I can use in publishing that post. The first thing that I'm going to do, particularly with non English user generated content, is I want to click on choose the preferred audience for this post. BuzzSumo gives me a couple of different options. The first thing that I can do is choose a preferred audience. I always check to see if the Facebook page that is posted about me is big enough to identify as a preferred audience on Facebook. If it is, I target that audience. If not, I choose something like content marketing or digital marketing or Facebook marketing. And then I go into the audience restrictions. I always raise the age a little bit. The default age on Facebook is 13, but I go up to 18 or 20. And then I choose location and language. As if the post is in a different language, I choose the language that it's written in and the country most associated with that language. All of this is free and I'm getting great results with it. The next thing I do is I oftentimes will either schedule that post to come online later or I will backdate it. So it goes earlier in my feed, and it's not necessarily popping up with a bunch of other similar content on the same day that I'm doing these posts. All right, so we've looked at today how the Facebook Analyzer can be used to identify trends around your topic, to identify trends around the pages that you're watching or competitors on Facebook, how it can be used to identify trends around holidays or industry seasonal events, and a little bit of a tidbit about how you can use BuzzSumo's Facebook Analyzer to identify brand mentions, which become user generated content that you can share on your own Facebook page to extend your reach there. Thanks so much for taking time to be with us. If you have any questions but you need to go, I'm going to put my email address into the chat box. It's susan@buzzsumo.com. And now I want to jump into the promised Q&A session. So let's see. Furman had asked about narrowing our scope to Latin America. And yes, you can do that. The primary way that you would do it, we don't have the option to filter by location in BuzzSumo, but we do offer you the ability to search by influential pages that are relevant to your target audience. And we also offer you the language filter, which you can see here on the left-hand side of the page. Those are the only two questions that have come in so far. Does anyone else have other questions? You can type them into the question box. And I hate that feeling of trying to type a question and thinking the presenter is going to turn off the webinar. So I'm just going to mute my mic for a second, take a sip of my coffee, and wait to see if there are any other questions coming in. All right, everyone. Looks like those are all the questions. Thanks again for dialing in. I'll send you the slides shortly. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me, Susan@buzzsumo.com. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.